I think we started like thinking about this a couple of years ago, even to collaborate.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm sort of in your time zone, we had to take the opportunity, and it's long awaited. So
I love it, and it's amazing energy to connect, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. So thank you. So, one of your favorites, I think you mentioned, dishes to make is vegetable curry.
yes, and the key thing is the coconut part, like the coconut curry. I'm using this today. I usually don't like to use canned, but honestly, they're better than the bottled ones. And sometimes if you want to make it yourself, it does take time. But for those who don't want to use canned, you can totally make your own coconut like cream or milk. Just make it thick and make the dish awesome.
Fantastic, and I'm using the canned as well. One thing I guess you look for probably when you look for canned foods, or if you're gonna use canned food, is that they're BPA free, maybe. Yeah. So I was thrilled to find this option.
They don't mention it here.
Yeah, well, it's always something fantastic to find, because we definitely don't want
For sure.
leaking from the can. So
For
yeah.
those who don't know what that is, it just it's a chemical that messes up with your hormones. That's found in plastics and packaging usually. And this one, it says certified organic, and there's no nasty products. But anyway,
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's great. This one says the BPA. Usually people
I'll look out for this next time.
see that. Yeah, I was so thrilled to find this option, because most of the time when I find BPA free, it's not necessarily organic. So this one is organic and BPA free, and get this, it's also fair trade. So I felt so good about it. So yeah, this is excellent.
Awesome.
So shall we start?
So I'll just give you like a quick idea of my ingredients. I'll just bring them up here. It'll be nicer. So I'm using red pepper and zucchini. This is half a zucchini, and I won't use all of it. So I'll be talking through you. I'll be talking you through it. I have a really funky looking ginger. It looks like a man.
It's really cute.
Then we've got garlic, lime, and lemongrass from the garden.
Yay! Oh, that's so good. I'm using the dried one, so the fresh is always more amazing for sure. And from the garden, wow.
Yeah, the different climates, different benefits. And
Yeah.
so actually, I want to say something about the magic of this dish.
Yeah, please.
And basically, it's combining all the flavors to make something really balanced. So what we're doing is we're going to be balancing bitter, sweet, salty, pungent.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I think I've covered them all. So basically, like the strong flavors are obviously the curry and the garlic. The ginger is the heat. The bitterness, it can come from the vegetable. It can also come from turmeric found in the spices. I have extra turmeric here. It's in a funky packaging. That's also in the curry. And then you have the salty soy sauce, or salt for those who can't have soy. And we will be adding honey. So this is like pure, awesome honey, raw honey. And then all these flavors together are just so balancing. And a sour is the lemon. I think I mentioned.
Yay! This is fantastic and so balancing, exactly as you walked it through, and I'm so excited. My mouth is watering, so this is really good.
And I'm using tofu here. This is an organic tofu that I found here. You can find, you can use just vegetables, but it's nice to have something a bit more like heavy, just to feel like you're satisfied from the meal. It's also really nice with shrimp for those who have seafood. I've made this recipe many times with shrimp, and it's always awesome. So keep it in mind.
This is really, really good. So excited. All right, so I'm gonna Switch my camera and then you can walk us through how to make it. I will share with you as well what kind of vegetables I'm using because the only good option I found that's local, grown in British
Yeah.
Columbia, um, are potatoes. So let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I know I did this earlier, so can do it again.
Did you say tomatoes or potatoes?
Here we go. Oh, potatoes. I'm not sure how tomatoes will be like.
Okay, I was surprised. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
and leeks. So
All right, cool. So
yeah.
we're taking this in different direction, which is amazing because the base of it is there, but you can make it in so many different ways. So, and honestly, every time I make it, it's different. I don't think I've ever repeated it exactly the same way.
Yes, yes, perfect.
All right, so I'm gonna bring it down here to my chopping board. You'll see how the weather is changing,
Okay.
and I'll just.
I know it. The weather changes every hour or so now, all over the world. So
Oh no, here it's like every 2 to 5 minutes. Like now,
that's hilarious.
so we're gonna have to chop up Mr. Ginger.
Oh, Mr. Ginger,
I
yes.
don't want to give him away, but okay. So basically, I have a really high tolerance for ginger.
Okay,
So, I
perfect.
mean, if you're cooking for 2 people, this might be enough. But I'm gonna use 2 of these,
Okay, okay.
and
I love
it's
ginger
good for
too.
2 people. But my mom and I really like ginger, so we're just gonna and
Perfect.
it's good for you. So as long as you can handle the fire.
Yes, absolutely. So, this is wonderful. Question for you though, because I know you use ginger a lot probably. Um, do you prefer sometimes to peel it with the spoon?
Oh, I've never tried that.
Okay, because
What do you
when I started doing it with the spoon, I felt like I'm in a different world, like a magical thing. It was so good. Because you really don't waste any of the ginger itself,
Ah,
and the
okay.
spoon goes around all the inconsistent edges
Can you
very,
show
very
us?
well. So, yeah, that's beautiful.
Can you show us?
So I was just gonna actually share with you that I'm not using ginger today
Okay.
because I have had a lot of ginger in the past year for some healing
Okay.
effects, and my body has a good amount of ginger in it already. So
Okay.
um, yeah, I do enjoy the aroma, the smell ginger if if it's been used around, but I don't
You've
I'm
had your
staying away from it a bit. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm going for
I think
more.
I have a better way as well to phrase it. I have enough heat in my body.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah.
that's important actually. I mean, some people, they have too. It's actually more common than having too much cold.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a bit because I think that's super interesting, and it's actually very common in Egypt as well for our Egyptian viewers.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, please. I mean, this is really amazing information. That's what I really love, and I was so excited to cook with you as well because it's all about like balancing our bodies through food, and
Exactly.
it's really looking at food in a way or in a perspective that we're actually supposed to, but with the current or with our commercial or unfortunate um, food business, I like to call it. Um, and social pressure as well. Sometimes we tend to,
Definitely.
yeah, we tend to eat whatever is on the table, but our body doesn't want it.
And we people don't want to be weird. Like there's this resistance to being the odd one out. But by being weird, you respect your individuality and you actually heal by taking care of yourself. So to
Yeah,
anyone who's having, this dilemma, trust it. Just be you, and reach out if you're having issues to
exactly.
understand.
Yeah. Um, and it's really interesting, right? Because ginger and turmeric, I think most commonly to talk about those two together, have unbelievable healing effects for inflammation, and the list can go, it's unlimited. But that still doesn't mean that because something is good and actually unbelievably healthy or healing to the body, that the body's always in need for it. So
Yeah. So here I'm just chopping my lemongrass into big pieces, and then I would remove them because you can't really chew them unless you're a cow. But
that's a great one. So with the dry one, I shouldn't do anything, right?
it's not. No, just leave it as is. You can also try to like tie it around itself, or try to make it easy to remove later on.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like make a bundle or so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
It smells so good though. Oh my god, it's like a spa.
I know, I wish I had fresh ginger, but it's really good because I feel like I can smell it now because you're using it and talking about it, and I can just visualize it, and it's so good.
And I also wanted to say something. Like I'll go in the frame. Hi. Like not like a certain food can have different energies. It can be hot or like heating or cooling based on the way it's processed or the way it's cooked. Or like just to give you an example, coconut water is cooling, but coconut milk is neutral.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's not really black and white. Do your research, peeps, and just don't generalize because it's a bit more complex than that.
Yeah. No, this is really fantastic and very important as well as we try to listen to our body and really understand the effect of cooling and heating foods. And yeah, nothing is.
Well, I think we found our topic for the rest of the video. I think we can just go more into that as we cook. It'll be a nice way to
Yeah, amazing. And the different flavor taste as well, all the five tastes and the balance of the body. So this is really, really good. I have a really funny peeler here. So I'm peeling my potatoes.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, it's not very practical, but I'm peeling it.
So basically, what I do first is I cook all the roots together.
Okay.
And since you're using potatoes, you're gonna have to put this in with the ginger and the garlic,
Okay, makes sense.
and the lemongrass. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start frying them very gently with coconut oil.
Great. Okay.
You can go ahead and put everything in, and then I'm gonna chop the rest of my vegetables and add them in with the tofu.
Perfect.
We can take turns for cooking.
Excellent. Just before I think you can still hear me, but garlic is also heating, right?
Um, yeah, I think so, but it's borderline neutral.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, because you also have small amounts of it, so I know that it's not extremely heaty. Because I have the opposite, so I have a cold body by nature,
Ah, I see.
and also going raw was not the best thing for me. It was not
Yes.
sustainable. It was great in the summer in Egypt, but then when winter came up, it was like, Yasmine, what are you doing? So
Absolutely. Yeah. I think on a general, just generally for anyone, no matter where you're located, in the winter, being on a raw diet is not really
yeah,
the best option, no matter
and
where you are.
exactly. It only works for people who have intense dryness and heat in their body. Like nothing else can get rid of it. That's when
Mm.
it works, which is really not that many people. But these people are the ones on YouTube making all these videos about raw veganism, and then you find all these videos of why I'm no longer raw vegan. So
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I've done that. It's not the best, but it's okay. We learn.
Yeah.
And
No. Absolutely.
like I tried eating raw vegan in London, and it was in spring, and I was just bloated 24/7. Like it was
Yes.
not fun.
Yes. I hear you. Absolutely. I've actually been there in this situation as well. So yeah, very interesting, and just it keeps proving to us how the body is a amazing system that changes over the seasons as well. So we really need to be mindful. And yeah, we do change. And a lot of the foods as well that we might have enjoyed when we were younger doesn't mean that we keep enjoying as we grow older as well. So
Yeah, definitely. I also have this philosophy of enough. Like, I think I've eaten enough pizzas and burgers in my childhood. Like, I really don't need them anymore. I've had my fair share. I've had hundreds plus.
yeah,
What more could I want from them?
exactly.
All right, so now I'm putting the garlic and the ginger. I use 4 cloves of garlic, but they're a bit small. That's not too strong.
Okay.
And then next thing I'll chop the tofu.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can go ahead and put everything in the same order as well, but you'll just put the potatoes before I put my vegetables, so that
Perfect.
yeah, so don't over.
Yeah, and I've got tofu too, so I'm very excited about this.
So a
Yay.
lot of people in Egypt have many questions about tofu because it's still kind of a new thing.
Mm,
Extra firm. I'll show you.
okay. Yes.
The clones in Cairo are either extra firm or they're like super soft. Like you can tell right away. But the ones that you find, I can write them in the description actually. These sources, they're all extra firm. They're great for cooking. It's what the restaurants use. So stick to that.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Yeah, and I just put on the screen as well what we're making. I meant to put this earlier, so when you said you'll put something in the description, some information in the description, I remembered the captions I had.
Cool. I'm
That's
really not happy when it comes to these things. I'm still like living in '95, you know, in my head.
Well, I think in that case I'll be in like 82. Goodness, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm really not into that stuff, and believe me, that was like actually the easiest thing to do. It's just nothing. But when I discovered this platform,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like an amazing achievement because it was new to me. But then I learned later like that this is like very well known thing. And I was like, no, I don't know it. So you got your tofu out of.
Sorry, I didn't get that. I didn't hear what you said. Sorry, can you repeat that?
For the thing to get back. So yeah, I think we're good now. I just said so you took your tofu out of the package there, and
Yeah,
obviously you're cutting it now.
yeah. I'm gonna make it in cubes.
Yeah. So with the firm tofu, there is no need to,
Do anything.
and I mean this in a question form. I'm not saying there is no need to place kitchen towel or so on top because it's firm, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. I'm gonna first chop my potatoes
Sure.
to add them with the ideally ginger, garlic, and lemongrass. As you know, I'm skipping a few things there.
Nicely sizzling, very nicely sizzling, making the whole kitchen smell like an Asian kitchen.
Amazing. Yes.
Mm. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put in the tofu for now because I want it to have a bit of like a crispy tone to it, you know.
Nice. Okay.
And I also wanted to say that I think we both compost our organic waste, so it would be nice to give a little reminder and encouragement for anyone who's not composting to try to just separate your trash. I know it's not easy living in a city, but you know, at least separating the organic food from the plastics makes it a lot easier for the garbage men and women to separate it when they receive it. And you know how the conditions of the garbage villages are just terrible. So
Yep.
the less food is there, the less bacteria, the less mold and rotten stuff, basically. So you're making it easier. So even if you're not about reusing it, at least you're not making someone dig through yucky trash.
Absolutely. That's a great point. Thank you so much for bringing this up. How do you, like, when the garbage is being picked up, though, in Egypt,
Mhm.
how do you separate them if there's no specific service for picking up compost, right?
Yeah, there isn't. There is for plastic and for all recyclables, but for compost, it's actually a world problem. Like it's really hard to transport perishable food in a safe way because what they think is like, what if the truck carrying it has an accident and there's like a lot of food on the floor? What if there's bacteria? Like we know, like from a biological safety standpoint, I think this is the main issue. When you think about it, it's actually not a big deal, but I think this is where people find it challenging. It
Mm,
will have to do with the law. Like it could be a legal thing, but yeah, that's the thing. Is the situation now.
yeah. No, I hear you. Um, well, yeah, I've lived almost like way, don't know how many years, like way, like so many years in Egypt. So many years, not ways, and I've always tried to know how to compost, but I do remember, as you mentioned, there are ways or
Mhm.
locations where you can drop off your plastic. So that was at least
Yeah.
something very helpful. So
When I lived in Dahab, so I lived in Dahab in Sinai for almost a year.
mm.
And my neighbors had goats. They were goat shepherds. And I would just give them my organic waste and they were so happy. Like the kids were so happy. They would run
Oh,
to me like for the trash and they would fight over it sometimes when there were
oh,
different.
that's okay.
It's amazing how your trash can really be someone's food,
Treasure.
your livestock.
Someone,
Um,
your junk or trash can be someone
yeah.
else's treasure. It's amazing. Yeah, no, that's really nice. So glad to talk about that and learn from you this information. I wanted to ask you something, Yasmin. What do you think about me using coriander seeds
It's a
instead?
different flavor.
Yeah, I will take it to a different
I
flavor.
wouldn't go for it, honestly. I think it might make it a bit more Middle Eastern.
Yeah,
But
I'll keep it on the Asian side for
I'm
now.
more like the Thai Cambodian curry style. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, and I was a little hesitant about it, so I knew it wouldn't give the flavors that we were trying to make here. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know. It could be amazing, but um, I say better not try something today.
Yeah, yeah, no, I hear you. I know you mentioned you're using coconut oil, which is fabulous with cooking and good for the heat as well, like cooking with heat. And then I'm using avocado oil, which is also another option that's
Perfect. Yeah, that's
very,
lovely. I love avocado oil. It's
yeah.
hard to find in Egypt, but when it happens, I will definitely like be using it for as much as possible.
Yay! Yes, hopefully it's that soon. You know what I've been doing with the avocado? Because I was thinking, okay, for anything that's not available for someone wherever one lives,
Yeah.
uh, there's always a way to make it from scratch. But then when it comes to oil, well, not not always to make it from scratch, especially if you can't
Yeah, as
grow.
much as possible.
Yeah. But with the oil, I'm not sure about that.
All right. Okay, we had a little flip incident, but everything's
Oh,
fine.
that's good. And yeah, it just made me think about the avocado. Okay, well, if someone is gonna, or how the avocado oil is actually made, and then I thought about, well, the avocado itself, the fruit, and made me remember to mention something that might be fun. I don't have the plant close to me, but I've been saving the seed of the avocado,
Yeah.
and I poke it like in three different spots in the middle, and I place it in a cup of water.
Yeah,
And
I do that too.
yeah, it's really nice to see it sprouting, right?
Yeah. I
And
mean, there are rare instances when you open a fruit and the seed is already sprouted, and that always makes me so happy to see it.
exactly. Um, so
Okay, and I'm just throwing in the peppers in the pan. I'm keeping it on low fire, although it's making sounds, but it's on low fire. Since we're just, not going with any. There's no time pressure here. Just enjoying the flow. So it's a
exactly.
slow cooking event.
Yes. Great. And I made my bundle. I love your idea. I
Oh,
was not
beautiful.
thinking about that, but you brought it up, so that is really good. And I'm gonna add the potatoes.
Mhm. And there's something I always mention. I think most people do it, but just in case you don't, is try to cut everything the same size. So like, my pepper and my tofu are like the same shape here, which I think
Yes.
it's nicer when you bite through them. That they're
Yes,
the
exactly. It's like I can hear you, but I'm going back and forth with to my pot.
same.
A lot of
It's
food.
really good that we're doing this at different times because in the end we just let it simmer. So instead of just waiting for it while it's simmering, you'll be doing your part. So it'll be more entertaining. Let's say.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's perfect. And
All right, mix it all up. It smells divine. Oh man.
unbelievable, right? Yes.
And just letting people know, this is actually a very lazy recipe. The effort is all in the stuff I'm doing now. It's just cutting things up. This is the effort. Other than
Exactly.
that, it's like the flavor really takes care of it. You don't have to do any effort really.
Yes, exactly. No, and it's about simplicity, right? So actually, the simpler the dishes, the more flavors one can enjoy. It always feels like this to me. I don't know. It's definitely always nice to make something, not complicated, but
It just completes by itself.
yes, yes, exactly.
I love the color, like the lighting on this thing. It looks so cute.
Fabulous. And I love your zucchini. That's
Yeah, they're huge here. It's ridiculous.
but then the skin as well is very pretty.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna remove us the seeds from the inside because these are very seedy. Um, yeah, I'm not really doing it in like the best way, but I just wanted to show you,
Yeah.
people. People watching.
I'm giving the potatoes and lemongrass a stir. Um,
Mhm. Oh, we have a viewer. Hi there. Well, it's starting to smell and look really good. So my tofu has gone crispy. Like it's not white anymore. So to talk a bit more about the heat and the heating foods and the cooling foods, it originates from, I think, mainly from Asia, but honestly every civilization has its own medicine, like ancient medicine, and in the end they all really say the same thing, but they just use different words and different images.
mm,
But like if you look at Islamic medicine and Islamic
mm.
nutrition,
It's
it's
the Nabawi.
yeah, it's similar to the Chinese, to the Indian, um, and it's really beautiful because in the end, it's all about individual balance.
Yes.
So yeah, so for
It's
example, this is it's cooling. I mean, definitely, if you eat this raw, it's very cooling because it's full of water. Anything that has water is cooling because water puts off fire.
yes.
But when you cook it, it becomes neutral. Um, so yeah, that's like
Great.
one example. Some things would probably stay the same. But yeah, tomatoes, for example, they become heating when they're cooked, but when they're raw, they're probably very cooling as well.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah. This is called the energetics of food, right?
Yeah.
That's really amazing. And the other thing as well is that we all have, like, in terms of our body and how we respond to this, it's not, I mean, it's funny because I thought about it now because we're saying energetics of food. Well, it's actually everything in our life surrounding us, including also our bodies. We have energy flowing. We just have
Water.
to feel it.
Yeah.
We're meant to feel it. Yeah.
Even the
So,
water. That's why sourcing your water from a good well is so important because water carries energy more easily than anything else. And that's actually like the food has water, and that's why food carries.
so much energy. Oh goodness, this is amazing. Um, I know you. I think you like to use. Oh, this looks so good! Yay! Wow, the colors are fantastic. Let me ask you, if I'm using the leeks, do you recommend, like, at what stage would you recommend to add them?
From the beginning as well,
Okay, with the potatoes then? Okay.
but don't put too much so that it doesn't overpower.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking
Mhm.
about that. Perfect. I do. Uh, sorry, you were saying something?
No.
I there's something I like to do. Is to keep the cutting board for onions and leeks and garlic separate from the.
Yes, that's a very good idea. I learned this the hard way when I once made orange juice. It tasted like garlic.
Oh yeah,
Not cool. Not cool at all. No.
oh goodness, yes. Well, the reason I actually came up with this, or wanted to finally do it, is something also similar to what you mentioned. I can't exactly remember what it was though, but it was along the same lines. I was doing something, and oh goodness, you don't want this. You don't want the flavor of onions in that. So yeah, it's been really a lovely cooking, journey since after when I made a separate cutting board for onions, leeks, and garlic.
Yeah.
Um,
And seafood also for anyone who eats like if you eat meat in general, it's better to keep all the animal stuff
oh goodness,
in
yeah.
one thing. Like
Yeah, so I just like focus on this little thing in terms of the cutting board, because usually it's known to be one. You want one separate board for vegetables, but the idea to have the onion leeks separate on garlic is a little different. But for sure, we actually need always four cutting boards. So one for vegetable, meat, poultry, which is chicken, and seafood. So all have to be separate. Yeah, for those who enjoy these foods. But yeah, this was kind of an
yeah.
little extra.
Soap is good. Soap is awesome. It does great things, but it's not perfect. And you just don't want to be mixing things, honestly.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm gonna add the spices now.
Okay.
I'm generous, but usually a tablespoon of curry is enough for two people. But I like my spices. I'm gonna cover this. I'll show you.
Perfect. And did you add the tofu already?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
You
tofu. Yeah.
add the tofu before the vegetables, but in your case, you can put them together. But it's yeah. I mean, just keep stirring to make sure that everything gets a little bit of like a golden edge.
Okay. Because I'm using the potatoes, which are a little harder um, than like bell peppers and zucchini. So I thought I should give them a little bit more time to cook, but it doesn't matter, eh?
We're gonna let everything simmer in the end anyway, so that's when it's gonna cook the most.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm gonna add some.
It smells amazing.
Oh, this is not working. I got
Oh,
no, it's okay. It's all contained.
all good.
You know the color festivals when they throw colorful powder everywhere?
No.
That's kind of what just happened, but like on a tiny scale.
That's funny.
All right, so now we've gone from white to yellow.
Okay.
Um, and I'm gonna start adding. I didn't put the salt yet, so I'm gonna put the salt now.
Okay.
Honestly, like Sometimes soy sauce is enough. You don't have to make it saltier. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yes, exactly.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna add the coconut milk with the
Okay.
honey, and then I'm gonna forget about this dish for a while and keep you entertained.
That's good.
So again, it's like 1 spoon of soy.
Okay,
When you're used to things, halas, you stop counting and measuring. You just kind of like, I,
exactly. Yes. I don't remember when was the last time I used measuring spoons or cups in cooking. Um, I only
and
tend to recommend it when I cook with the little kids because it's a nice thing for the little ones to measure up and oh, it looks so good,
I'm
lovely.
taking a picture with my phone because it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely, I love it.
And yeah, now I'm gonna add the coconut milk. I'm gonna add the whole thing,
Okay,
and yeah, and then just wait a couple of like maybe 10 minutes or so.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to show you my liquid soy seasoning. So it's like soy sauce, but it's
I know it. I know it. The Bragg's one. Yeah.
exactly Bragg liquid aminos. Exactly, I love it. So it's also gluten free and yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm really happy I don't have a soy allergy. I know people who do, and I'm not really attached to soy. Like I can live without tofu, and that's why my book doesn't have any soy recipes because I know people do have allergy. Um, but soy sauce is just like one of these things that was so hard to replace until they came up with this liquid aminos alternative. But it's really cool that I mean, I think the world is becoming easier for those who have allergies, but you also have to be aware of what's new. You also have to maybe invest a bit as well in these alternatives because they're not cheap. But the
Exactly.
options are there. So
Exactly. No, that's a great point. It's becoming definitely way easier.
mhm.
I used to say year after year, but I think now month after month or week after week, it's getting
Yeah.
easier and easier with all the options out there. Looks amazing, Yasmin. After the soy sauce, we add the maple syrup or the honey, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do this right now. I just have to open a new jar.
Okay.
Okay, I think my
So,
mom already opened it for me. It was like the easiest opening. Um,
yeah.
I'm putting just 1 spoon because you don't want it to be a dessert. It's just that you want it to balance all the other flavors.
Yeah, I'm imagining this now. It's just super good, and I was just gonna tell you that it's the first time for me to add maple syrup or honey to the curry, and I can't wait to try this because it sounds amazing, and it will add this lovely sweetness you're mentioning. So yeah, that's lovely. And indeed, every time I make curry or anything else, the dish is always different in one way or another, right? If you
Yeah,
just have one with vegetable or so, it's different. So.
exactly. And I'm gonna put the heat on medium and let it cook here. So to be very fair, to give credit where it's due, because he might be watching this, but I did get this like the inspiration for the curry and the balancing of the flavors from a chef here in Costa Rica who's a friend. So that was like an eye opener 7 years ago already. 6 years
Oh,
ago. Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies. But yeah,
yes.
he's a great chef, and I was really happy and grateful to learn from him.
Wow, that's really, really special. Lovely. And I'm just giving here the ingredients a nice stir. I'm actually gonna bring the pot closer. So I wanted to show you this. I haven't stirred the coconut milk yet. I know it's not that saucy,
No,
but
it's
I
fine.
do
Keep
put it in
mixing.
there. Yeah, I haven't added actually all the amount yet, but just wanted to give you a sneak peek as well.
So
So here
it's the Central American version and then the North American version.
perfect.
Cool. So the last thing I add is the lemon because you don't want the lemon to cook.
Oh yes. Do you add the lemon juice only, or do you also do some zesting?
Just half, no, just half a lemon, even less. It depends on how lemony you like your food, really.
Look at this. It's like super creamy.
Amazing.
And it's so different from the other coconut milks that sometimes are available. Like when you open the can, it's usually like half liquid and half milk. I mean,
Yeah,
there's water in there, but this one is just so intense and just
yummy.
so rich. Yeah.
I'm gonna let mine simmer now. So okay, I'll give myself the 10-minute mark. It's been 2 minutes already, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like when you don't measure things, it becomes really hard to tell someone the recipe. It happens a lot. I make an awesome recipe like without measuring a thing. And I'm like, Mom, I made a great recipe, but I have to do it again with the measurements to tell you how I did it.
Exactly. So, well, this can bring us up to your cookbook, Happy Valley,
Ooh, I have it here. Let me show
which I love its name, by the way, which
you.
is so good. Wow, yes, amazing.
This is the second one, and this was the first one.
Oh,
So when you have them together, you have my full collection of 150 recipes. Wait, I'm out of the frame. And
yeah.
there are some recipes in here that are improvements from the ones in here,
Okay.
but just get the whole thing. It might be easier to start with this one actually, and then if you want more recipes, then buy the first one.
Oh, that's so good. So, in terms of your cookbooks now, that's really lovely. I'm so excited that you have another one too. How did you manage then to like? Was it really challenging to keep trying to measure ingredients? Because again, we're not used to measure stuff out.
When I was serious about the recipes, I really had to make them twice. I really had to make everything at least twice
Yes.
with the same measurements, and then making some corrections. But
Exactly.
yeah, it's a really fun process. I love creating. I love perfecting, and revisiting. And
Yes.
ooh, it's bubbling now.
That's really wonderful. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I'm gonna add my lemon. Oh,
Hmm.
this is so wonderful. Well, it's also the same for me with the cooking classes, because I always would need to send a recipe for what we make together. So before actually the ideas I come up with for what to do in the cooking sessions,
Hmm.
I do the same thing pretty much because I wanna know what measurements to write down. So. So this is really cool. Wow. I'm just adding my lemon. Oh, Yasmine, do you know Meyer lemons?
No.
Oh, they're so good. They are so nice and soft. You can actually, uh, nope, not this one, not this one, this one. So here's the skin of the lemon, right?
Okay.
It's so tender and amazing that you actually bite on it and eat it.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Nice. That's so cool.
Like with the lemon and stuff, you can totally enjoy the peel on its own, but yeah, they're called Meyer lemons, Meyer.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was just the most excited person to
Amazing.
know about them. It was in California.
Oh,
um,
cool.
I think that's mainly where they grow. um,
Interesting. And now you're fun.
mm. Oh, it feels like you're on a different world.
I'm gonna post now on my page. So sorry for the focusing.
Oh no,
Oh,
it's all good.
I'll
So
show you. Wait, I need to show you.
it's smelling amazing here. And it's yours. Mm. Oh, I wish everyone can smell this.
Me too.
This is so good. And do you cover it up?
No, 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 because you actually want to lose the water. You want the coconut to get thicker.
Perfect. That's what I was thinking. Um, but because that coconut milk, there is no. Sorry, you're posting, but
It's
I can
frozen.
show I can show everyone else. There is no water in the can. It's all rich, dense
Um,
coconut
is
milk. So I wasn't. Yeah,
is
it
that
wasn't.
from the weather?
Sorry, Yasmin. Say that again.
I think is that from the weather in Canada? I can imagine like coconuts coming from the tropics and landing in in Canada. um, this is boiling. Let me show you.
Consume them
And
freeze.
this is basically just the coconut getting thicker and thicker.
Yes.
Meanwhile, it's cooking the zucchini because the zucchini did definitely not cook in the little stir fry I gave it. They were thick pieces also, so they need time, and this is the time now for them to cook. And same thing for your potatoes. So yeah, we'll be seeing that shortly.
Yes, excellent. Oh, this is really so exciting. So, how long did it take you to how long did it take you to publish your first cookbook?
So I'm self-published.
Amazing.
So from the moment I started writing it, it was in April. I sent the printing company my files in December.
Okay.
Possibly like December 31st. It would be like the end of the year, and I received the books 3 weeks later. So all in all, it was about like 9 months. But the recipes were things that I had been trying out for years before, or
Mhm.
some were all on the spot. The new book was mainly all just new. That was it was like a chain of.
Yeah. This is really, really cool. The curry is bubbling, so I keep checking on it.
It looks it smells and looks just out of this world. I'm making some noodles to go with it. I have some brown rice noodles.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you whether you're gonna enjoy it with rice or noodles. Can you just increase your voice a little bit because we can't
Oh,
hear you very well.
is that
Say that again.
is that better?
Uh, that's probably just because the food is boiling, so or bubbling. But you were saying how you're gonna enjoy it. I think I overheard something like noodles, but I didn't catch the whole thing.
Oh, I'm gonna make some. I'll show you. I have these brown rice noodles.
Nice. Oh yes, brown rice noodles. I love it. Yay. You know, I use these noodles sometimes to make rice paper rolls,
Yeah, nice. I love
which are
those.
usually a combination of yeah, rice noodles and carrots and cucumbers. Oh, the lemongrass. I know, you totally feel like you're sitting in Asia right now.
It's like catnip. I'm just like going crazy.
That's amazing. Here, yeah, the curry is nicely thickening up. This is fantastic.
I'm gonna taste it now.
And you know, it's gonna be really nice because it's hard to actually differentiate. Not hard, but it's kind of gonna be fun when we eat it. It's not gonna be always easy to tell if it's a piece of potato or tofu from how
Yeah.
it looks like. So it's really nice when I like it when these things happen. I mean, especially with my husband, like he I always like him to guess what ingredients are in there when he tastes the food. So it's always like a fun thing to see the guesses. So yeah.
Are you vegetarian? Or
Say that
what's
again. Yes, you're actually frozen right now. I'm not sure why.
hmm.
Can you see yourself? Are you frozen as well?
No, I'm moving real time.
Oh no. Okay, so you're frozen on my side. Let's see. Yeah,
I'm
you're
trying
back.
back.
I kind of want to try to do like a little dance and came back.
Cool.
So you were asking something?
I tasted it. It's really good. I'm gonna add salt. But I was asking you if you're a vegetarian. I don't know.
Okay. I thought I heard something like that. I was just giving it a stir, and I'm gonna I'm gonna taste it in a little bit. I was actually a vegetarian, like full time, because I enjoyed it. Again, I always like to, when I go through this discussion, I say that it not because you heard someone else going vegetarian and loving it, then this is the way to go. Because sometimes we do look up to some
Yeah,
people who specifically, have a healthy lifestyle and try to guide and help others to go, um, or to live a natural lifestyle in general. And
yeah,
when we get to learn that they are vegetarian or were vegetarian, they really try to give this a try. So I'm just saying it because a lot of times, this used to happen. Like a lot of people would go vegetarian because, um, they felt inspired by someone else. Anyways, the main reason
and
I went vegetarian is that my body really went to that direction, and I found that I truly enjoyed it. And then, just gradually, my appetite for my body asked for some other foods that are like meat or chicken. It happens on a rare occasion, but I do listen to my body. And then sometimes I can dream of something, which is really, really funny.
me too, me too. It happens to me. I dream of fish and I'm like, I need to eat fish. And it just feels so right to be like in sync with the messages you're getting.
Exactly. And I would just wake up that day and create that dish I've dreamed of. So it's really good. Yeah, let's taste it. I'm gonna grab a spoon because it looks ready, very, very ready.
I
And
mean, usually like potatoes, carrots, squash, or pumpkin, these things could take time. Um,
yes,
if you stick to tomatoes, bell peppers, it's much faster. Um,
exactly.
yeah, so and obviously like the size of the pieces makes a difference.
Oh, so true. Yes, I can give it a try. I have a spoon here with all the, yeah,
It's
all components.
it's
Spoon, potatoes, tofu, and leeks. So we'll see.
mm. So I really like how this turned out. It does need lemon for sure.
Mm,
Um, but I'm
mm.
thinking of adding something. I mean, this is the kind of recipe that you want to do with love and you want to make it perfect. So keep tasting, keep adding.
Absolutely, yes. The flavors here are fantastic. Needs a little bit more time for the potatoes, indeed, because they're almost there. But the tofu is so good because it
Awesome.
absorbs, right? Absorbs all these amazing flavors.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of lemon here just to see literally a drop.
Yeah, and I'm adding some more lemons as well. So that's same here.
Same with basil also, but you add this at the end. Like, you can even add it to your plate without cooking it. It adds a beautiful like extra flavor. You can add the cilantro, coriander. I think that's it for the greens. If you want to add kale and spinach, that's fine too. That works well. Many many options.
This is really great, Yasmine. So good. Again, it's so nice and simple as well, which is makes it a great dish for busy moms and busy
Yeah,
individuals in general. It doesn't have to be a mom to be busy, but yeah.
and so you can also put it in the fridge for a couple of days. You can freeze it for months. So you can definitely make
Yeah,
a big. You can make a big amount and feast.
exactly. And it's all in one pot, which also is one of my favorite things to my heart. Um, it's like baking in one bowl or, prepping everything in one bowl. Yeah, looks so good.
So this is ready. I like that the zucchini has a tiny bit of a crunch, so I'm just gonna turn off the fire, put the lemon, and just a half lemon, and then that's it. I'm done on my side.
Perfect.
So, see you guys. It doesn't take time. I mean, we've been talking, so it took time, but it doesn't take that much time. And oh, there's a seed here.
Especially
Oh,
again when you use vegetables that are that doesn't require much cooking time, like the bell peppers and zucchini as well. So yeah.
Yeah, but again, like buy seasonal, buy local, and enjoy the changing of the seasons throughout the year. You'll have like four different curries at least.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you a peek for my.
Because even here in Costa Rica, like it's tropical, but you still have the rainy season and the dry season. So you still do have seasons, and there are things that can only be really tasty at one time of the year. If you try to eat them at other times, they're just like really watery. So
Yeah, so true. You know how I relate so much to this, specifically with the blueberries and raspberries and strawberries. When they're in season, the flavors are out of this world, and then out of season, it's
it's
really
bland.
tasty, right?
Yeah,
And we're here so blessed on Vancouver Island with local berries. So they and actually the blackberries grow wild as well. So it's fantastic. You can go around, go where the bushes are and lovely
amazing. I would
hiking
love to
areas
eat
and things like that, and just
that.
pick up some blackberries. They taste unbelievably amazing. But yeah, this is really wonderful. Oh, and this is a lovely trick to put under your cutting board. Where if it slips, makes it nice and stable, especially with a slippery, slippery counter.
Definitely.
And
And this is for
here's here's the wonderful bubbly coconut thickening up, and
amazing.
it smells so good, Yasmine. I really can't wait to dip
There's a
into it.
bird. Sorry for the background dogs barking, and there's a bird going crazy on that side.
Oh, nice. Well, that's a nice nature effect. So I love it.
Yes. And
Uh,
Kamen, our usernames are Noor from Nature and Living Green. we're uh, we're in sync.
I know. Fantastic. Yasmin, that was really, really so good. And again, it's fantastic. I think it's the beautiful energy, like the telepath energy, I think is what it's called. When I was just like checking in with you to just tell you I didn't forget that, we want to cook something together. And by coincidence, that's the perfect timing for you to match
I
our.
was at the airport. I'm like, I'm on my way.
That was so good. Thank you so much again, also for all the lovely information. It's really nice and peaceful, right? Like you feel so connected to yourself when you hear someone, or you feel the connection, more or less. What I meant to say, when you hear someone like you inspiring everyone to listen to their body and cook from their heart, from their local community, and compost. Oh, I love that point as well. Just being mindful about the environment as we cook.
Yeah. And remember, like when you throw something away, I mean, an animal could really be benefiting from this. So just don't put it with the plastic.
Exactly. And oh goodness, all the health effects as well of plastics on our body, and the
Mhm.
unfortunately, like more and more people every year have hormonal, imbalances, and
Mhm.
um, lots of health problems actually
Mhm.
originate from things that we do on a daily basis, and we're not aware why it's happening. So um,
At least we
spreading
put it on.
awareness is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Yasmin. Let's do it again. Hopefully.
Yeah, let's go here. I
Time.
mean, if it's from Cairo, I can't guarantee the nice lighting like I have here. It's very different setting,
Yeah.
but I would love to repeat this.
I think it's all about the cooking as well at the end, at the end of the day. But it's definitely lovely to have good lighting. We can do recording as well if that's something. I'm personally looking forward to a recording, maybe that we can do in the summer as well with farmers market, because I think this is just lovely to see farmers markets in different parts of in the world. And yeah,
And
I
definitely,
just love it.
definitely, if it's a raw recipe, In this case, I can provide good lighting, but if it's a cooking recipe, I can't guarantee the same.
It's all good.
We'll try our best. And thank you, everyone who watched. We'll be taking a look at the comments.
And probably will watch later. Yes.
Exactly. Cool. Well, have a lovely day. Have a lovely night, everyone. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.